My name is Chris Barney, and I'm an associate professor at Northeastern University, the program coordinator for the undergraduate game design program there, and I'm here in Moldova through the Creative Speakers program. That was always my plan as a game designer. I went to school to study game design, creating my own programs, and during that process I acquired skills that allowed me to work outside of the industry as I struggled to find a position within games, and when I did, I made that transition. During the period of time before I had found paid position within the industry, I was able to volunteer for Funcom as part of their ARC program for one of their MMOs, where I worked directly with the game developers to produce live events leading up to different releases and downloadable content in the game. And that gave me a lot of experience interacting with the industry, working with game communities, and prepared me to be able to work in a paid position later on in my career. Interestingly, those elements haven't applied directly very much to my career. However, all of the technologies and design techniques that underlie those have been applicable. And so I would say acquiring generalizable skills is very important if you're going to become a designer, because the industry changes very quickly, and only specializing in a narrow focus can leave you in a position where there isn't work available using those skills. My motivation for creating the pattern methodology that I developed was that there's too much to learn about game design to be taught in just a 4-year degree, or even a 6 years degree if you were getting a master's. So I wanted to create a process that would allow students to learn game design themselves, but give them something solid and repeatable, not just telling them to go out and learn it on their own, but giving them the benefit of my experience. I think it's more the other way around. My belief that games are critical to our understanding of the world, that playing games gives us participatory experience, allows us to empathize with those who are different from us and have different experiences than we do. That's what drove me to leave the industry and find a place where I could share those ideas and values with more students who could then bring them into the industry and improve the effect that games have on the world. They form the core of the process that we use. The students have a design question that they're trying to solve. They work together in a group in order to derive a pattern that solves that problem. Then they apply that pattern to a practical scene that they're developing, and then analyze the success of their solution. That forms a really powerful and complete pedagogical loop. Most recent time I spoke at GDC, it was about game design patterns, and I was trying to teach game developers the basics of how these patterns work, and then how they can apply those practically to solve design problems within their studios. The design pattern idea is often seen as very academic, and so giving a direct path to action to working developers was the purpose of that talk. We think it's very important for students to master practical techniques for game design using different engines. And we don't teach those explicitly in our classes. We don't have a class on Unity or on Unreal, but all of our project work is required to be done in one of those engines. And so students are actively encouraged to seek out that kind of basic technical knowledge on their own, and then they have to apply those skills that they learn in their academic projects. One of those programs would be taking students on what we call a dialogue of civilization. I'm bringing 15 students to Poland to work with the Games Institute there. We're going to develop games over the course of a month and then take them to Gamescom to display them and share them with the European development community. I would say two things. One, if you have a passion for games, if you feel like you need to make games, that it's important, don't give up. It was very difficult for me to get into the industry. I sent hundreds of resumes before my first job was offered. Don't take it personally. If you're not getting hired, it's probably not because you aren't worthy. It's because the industry is very, very challenging and crowded, but it's worth the struggle. Keep persisting. The converse of that is if you can be happy doing something other than making games, programming for applications or doing visual design for marketing, you should go and do that. It's less struggle. Making games is very hard and very difficult. So only persist if you have passion, but if you have passion, persist at all costs. I want to say thank you for having me as part of the Creative Speakers program. It's been a pleasure to be able to share my insights with people from Moldova, students and professors and professionals alike. I've learned a lot being here. I hope that my visit has been useful to the people who have attended the lectures as well. Thank you.